Christmas Eve embraced our small town, and the air shimmered with holiday joy. Snowflakes danced in the night, and the twinkling lights cast a warm glow on the quiet streets. Our family reveled in the festive decorations, the scent of cinnamon, and the promise of Christmas morning. As the clock struck midnight, a subtle chill swept through the house. Dismissing it as a draft, we continued our merriment around the tree, exchanging gifts and laughter. The carols played softly in the background, creating a cozy ambiance. However, as the clock's chimes resonated, a sudden unease settled upon us. Seeking solace, I stepped onto the porch to inhale the crisp air. The snow-covered landscape stretched before me, bathed in the soft glow of Christmas lights. Yet, an unsettling feeling lingered. Distant jingles reached my ears, dismissed as a figment of my imagination, until I noticed fresh footprints leading to our front door. Curiosity mingled with apprehension as I followed the prints to find an elegantly wrapped box on our doorstep. The tag read, "To the family from a secret Santa." A shiver ran down my spine as I brought the mysterious package inside. Gathered once more, we unwrapped the box to reveal antique dolls, each with a peculiar, almost lifelike quality. A sense of unease settled in the room as their porcelain eyes seemed to follow us. Brushing it off, we attributed our discomfort to the eerie nature of the dolls. As the night wore on, strange occurrences unfolded. Footsteps echoed through empty hallways, and the dolls appeared to move when unobserved. Whispers lingered in the air, too faint to decipher, yet unsettling. Deciding it was time to retire, we dismissed our fears, attributing them to holiday fatigue. Sleep proved elusive as the wind howled outside. The dolls seemed to multiply in the living room, their eyes gleaming in the dim moonlight. Closing my eyes, I hoped to escape the feeling of being watched. A sudden jolt awoke me from a restless sleep. It was 3 a.m., and an icy draft swept through the room. My eyes adjusted to the darkness, revealing a figure at the foot of my bed, draped in a tattered red cloak. Panic seized me as I realized it held one of the dolls, its eyes gleaming in the shadows. I tried to scream, but no sound escaped my lips. The figure approached, placing the doll on my bedside table. Its face remained hidden, and the room distorted as if pulled into an abyss. In its palm lay a small, rusted key. As I reached for it, a voice echoed in my mind. The key opens the gateway between joy and despair, between the warmth of Christmas and the depths of the unknown. Choose wisely. The figure dissipated, leaving me alone with the ominous key. The room returned to normal, but an ominous energy lingered. At dawn, I discovered the dolls arranged in a circle around the Christmas tree, their tiny eyes fixated on me. Desperation fueled my decision to use the key. With trembling hands, I unlocked an ancient-looking box hidden in the attic. A swarm of shadowy figures emerged, distorted versions of beloved Christmas characters. The dolls downstairs began to move, dancing to an eerie melody. The figures descended, surrounding the tree like spectral guardians. I understood an unseri. The silent night visitor had opened a portal, bridging the gap between the festive season and a realm of darkness. The figures seemed to feed on our holiday joy, distorting it into something grotesque. In a desperate attempt to close the gateway, I locked the dolls back in the box and sealed it with the key. The figures dissipated, and the dolls ceased their haunting dance. Christmas morning arrived, but the festive cheer was replaced with an indescribable heaviness. The family exchanged wary glances. The dolls were gone, the key safely hidden. The silent night visitor had vanished, leaving us with a Christmas we would never forget. A Christmas where joy and terror danced on the edge of reality. Christmas Eve brought with it the scent of pine, the warmth of festive lights, and the comforting hum of family laughter. We gathered in the living room, surrounded by the glow of the tree and the promise of a joyous holiday. Little did we know that this Christmas would be forever etched in our memories for reasons far from joyful. As the evening unfolded, the anticipation for the exchange of gifts grew. My younger sister, Lily, eyed the presents with unrestrained excitement. The unwrapping was a cherished tradition, and our living room transformed into a sea of colored paper and ribbon. Amidst the joyous chaos, a peculiar gift caught my attention. It was a small box, neatly wrapped, with no tag indicating the giver. It sat discreetly among the vibrant packages, seemingly waiting to reveal its secrets. Curiosity piqued, I picked up the mysterious box. Its weight hinted at something substantial inside. The paper crinkled as I delicately tore it away, revealing an unmarked wooden box. My family gathered around, intrigued by the unexpected gift. The box emanated an enigmatic energy. Its polished surface bore no clues about its contents. I hesitated for a moment, then carefully opened it to reveal an intricately carved Ouija board. A ripple of unease swept through the room. Lily, usually the spirited one, shrank back, sensing the sudden shift in the atmosphere. My parents exchanged wary glances, unsure how a seemingly innocent board game found its way into our Christmas celebration. Despite the uneasy aura, a daring curiosity overcame us. We decided to entertain the mysterious gift, convincing ourselves it was a quirky addition to the holiday festivities. We placed the Ouija board in the center of the room, the planchette sitting motionless upon its surface. The air grew thick as we tentatively placed our fingers on the planchette, ready to uncover the secrets within. With bated breath, we asked, "Is there anyone here?" The planchette stirred, sliding across the board to spell out a name: Samuel. A shiver ran down my spine. None of us knew a Samuel, and the tension in the room intensified. Questions tumbled out, and Samuel responded with cryptic answers, leaving us more perplexed than before. As the minutes ticked by, the room seemed to dim, the festive lights losing their luster. Unease turned to dread when Samuel spelled out a message that sent a chill through our hearts. No escape. The planchette moved with an unsettling urgency, as if guided by an unseen force. Panic set in as we realized the atmosphere around us had shifted, becoming increasingly oppressive. The room darkened further, the once comforting glow of Christmas lights flickering ominously. Lily, now pale and frightened, pleaded for us to stop. But the planchette continued its erratic dance across the board, spelling out dire warnings and chilling prophecies. Suddenly, a cold gust swept through the room, extinguishing the festive lights. The Ouija board, now an instrument of dread, glowed with an otherworldly light. Shadows danced on the walls, taking grotesque forms that seemed to whisper malevolent secrets. Desperation clawed at us as we tried to close the session, but the planchette resisted our efforts. The room echoed with eerie whispers, and a haunting melody played in the background, a dirge that seemed to mourn the unraveling of our peaceful Christmas. Terrified, we locked eyes, realizing we had unwittingly opened a portal to something beyond our understanding. The walls seemed to close in as the oppressive atmosphere intensified. We were trapped in a nightmarish realm, our Christmas joy replaced with the harrowing reality of our actions. In a last desperate attempt, I forcefully closed the Ouija board, the planchette freezing in place. The room fell silent, the shadows dissipating, and the lights flickering back to life. The air lightened, but the lingering fear remained etched in our expressions. The wooden box that had contained the ominous board now bore the weight of our terror. There was no returning to the joyous Christmas Eve we had known just moments ago. Our festive celebration had unraveled into a nightmare, leaving us with a haunting tale of caution, a story of the Christmas that went not as planned, with no returning back. Christmas Eve, a time for joy and family, took a dark turn for us. The soft glow of festive lights cast shadows in the corners of our living room, where laughter once echoed. The tree stood tall, adorned with memories, and anticipation hung in the air. Little did we know this night would etch a horrifying chapter into our Christmas history. The doorbell chimed, and we eagerly welcomed our special guest, Santa Claus himself. Dressed in the familiar red suit with a snowy white beard, he radiated holiday cheer. The children's eyes lit up as they clambered onto his lap, whispering their wishes. The illusion of a magical Christmas seemed complete. As the night unfolded, the festivities were in full swing. The aroma of a decadent feast wafted through the house, and the exchange of gifts was met with delight. We reveled in the warmth of togetherness, unaware of the sinister turn the night would take. Late into the evening, a knock echoed at the door. A second Santa Claus, seemingly identical to the one entertaining the children, stood on our threshold. Confusion morphed into fear as he produced a sinister grin, a stark contrast to the jolly demeanor we expected. Before we could comprehend the situation, the imposter brandished a weapon, and panic set in. He demanded entry, and we, paralyzed by fear, obliged. The atmosphere shifted from festive joy to palpable dread as our home transformed into a scene from a nightmare. The intruder revealed his true intentions. He wasn't there to spread holiday cheer, but to exploit the Christmas festivities for a sinister plan. With calculated precision, he gathered us in the living room, brandishing his weapon as a grim reminder of the danger we were in. "Silent night indeed," he sneered, his voice dripping with malice. "Your Merry Christmas has taken an unexpected turn." The intruder revealed knowledge of our wealth and valuable possessions, exploiting the guise of Santa to infiltrate our home. As he orchestrated his criminal plot, we became hostages in our own living room, stripped of the holiday spirit that once filled our hearts. The faux Santa directed us to surrender our valuables, methodically plundering the gifts beneath the tree. The once treasured presents now served as a grim reminder of our vulnerability. Each stolen item echoed through the room like a twisted carol, marking the desecration of our Christmas. As he ransacked our home, the intruder's demeanor shifted between calculated cruelty and maniacal glee. The air grew thick with tension as we, bound by fear, could only watch our holiday dreams unravel in the hands of a malevolent Santa Claus. Silent sobs filled the room as he seized the last of our possessions. With a final, sinister laugh, he announced his departure, leaving us bound and traumatized in a home that had transformed into a haunting crime scene. The police arrived, responding to a distress call from a neighbor who had sensed something amiss. The festive lights outside now illuminated a scene of shattered merriment. As the officers untied us, their eyes reflected a mixture of sympathy and disbelief at the holiday horror that had unfolded within the walls of our home. In the aftermath, Christmas morning dawned on a house stripped of joy. The tree stood forlorn, its lights casting long shadows on the remnants of torn wrapping paper. The laughter that once echoed through the halls now hung in the air as a haunting memory. The holiday spirit, marred by the sinister intrusion of a Santa Claus-turned-criminal, left an indelible mark on our family. Silent Night had taken on a new meaning, forever associated with the night when our Christmas dreams were shattered